It's Black History Month,
Hmm.
and it is Lovers Month. Lovers and friends.
It's one day.
It's one boy, one day. I had to deal with you all the way since Christmas. I've been putting in work since December, and it's one day. Oh no, honey, it is marathon.
That's true.
Okay, so if you could plan an event for UIULA members, what would be a top event for Black History Month and then an event for singles?
Um, I think an event for singles to start with would probably be like a singles mixer game night,
Ooh, okay,
something like that.
all right.
You know,
Mhm.
just like okay, you don't have your boo, it's okay. Maybe you can find them
We can find him tonight.
find right here, just
Right.
over some friendly competition. And
Mm-hmm.
like me personally, like I love competition when it comes to like building relationships and getting to know people.
Yeah.
That's the best way I get to know people. So
Okay. Yeah, I like games too.
yeah. Mhm.
I'm always like, I'm trying to shoot my shot, literally.
Yeah, yeah, but not playing games if you know what I mean.
Why was that so funny to me?
I don't know.
Okay, so a game night mixer for singles. Okay, all right. Now, Trick, what would you do for couples?
For couples,
Yep,
a first thing that comes to mind is a painting tip.
a paint and tip. Okay.
Yeah, painting tip is I feel like you can't go wrong with that.
Hmm.
You know, and like a collaborative painting tip.
Collaborative with.
So I feel like a lot of painting tips is like each person has their own painting. But what if
Oh,
it's like the couples like together
yeah,
complete one painting?
that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that! I want to come with my boo. I ain't gotta meet one. He's there. I love that. I love that. Anything that has food, um, count me in. So if it's a paint and sip with some type of like, you could, because what if we could paint something edible?
Ooh, like actually paint on it?
Yeah. So I don't know how like a sheet of chocolate or something, and they have like liquid, like paint, but it's actually like edible.
What do you
Something.
call that? Food coloring.
Food coloring or
Kind of,
just
or
like
just
frost. I don't know what it would be.
yeah, it would just have to be edible
Yeah,
because
I
we don't
think.
want to be liable to
Right.
never mind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then the Black History Month.
Black History Month. Um some sort of like black documentary screening
Mhm.
with a panel slash conversation
Oh,
coming
panel.
afterwards. And like I would like for that documentary to touch like on African American history and like African slash Nigerian slash Igbo history.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of like people like feel like it's almost common knowledge now that like a lot of the Africans from that transatlantic slave trade
Mhm.
came from like Nigeria region, like the
Yeah.
Igbo region,
Mhm.
etc. So
That would be a good topic. I mean, it might be very controversial. Um, if we had some type of conversation about um, American slave history that is not told in Africa. Why
mm,
is it not told? Because I've had I studied African studies at Cal State Long Beach, and a lot of people just couldn't understand why, um, you know, Africans were willing to sell other Africans.
right.
And I think the thing is that they don't have any knowledge of what's actually going on the other side. Yeah, I think for Black History Month, also speaking on Igbo landing,
Mhm.
I think that is a good balance of the African role in in the slave trade, but also what is the diaspora experience? So you were born in America,
Yeah,
you identify as a black man, black woman,
right,
but you do have a heritage where you know that your parents are from America. I mean, from Nigeria.
right.
So what is that experience like? Do you get to have the same type of um like do you get to celebrate Black History Month? Do you get to identify? Is that your history? Is all Black history Black history?
How do you define black?
What is Black?
What is black? Me neither. No, I actually, one of the classes I took as an undergrad was, I think it was called Theorizing Blackness.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like asking all those questions that you mentioned. And really, I feel like it wasn't even until I got to Northwestern personally that I stepped into that space of like understanding myself as a black man in America. You know, because I think I was just telling someone this, but I knew I was Nigerian before I knew I was black.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that was like ingrained like from the very beginning.
Mhm.
And I feel like I was blessed that like I definitely like got stereotyped and like, you know, experienced certain microaggressions like for being a black dude in a predominantly white space or non-black space that's that
Yeah.
growing up in the suburbs of Chicago. But yeah, it was never any like grand experience that was kind of like an awakening for
Okay.
me, like as I was growing up. So
As you were growing
yeah,
up. Okay. But did you ever feel like you were in between two spaces that you were both but weren't either?
yes, I want to say yeah, like yes and no.
Okay.
So I definitely was like in between both spaces, but I feel like I didn't acknowledge the black the blackness as much. So it was like almost like kind of like an afterthought.
Mm.
Until because again, I didn't grow up around many black people.
Okay. Same. Same.
Yeah. So it was like once I got to college, and even though that was still a PWI, like it was still like I feel like the black community like was just more present and more centered.
Hmm.
And so then once I started navigating those spaces, you know, hanging out like at the Black House and being part of a all black a cappella group and everything.
Wow.
Um,
Acapella.
yeah,
You sing?
I do everything music.
Okay. Everything.
Another conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, so like once I like got involved into those spaces, it kind of made me wake up. It's like, yo, like you have this whole other part of you that is that's very present, but like you don't want to acknowledge it.
Okay. Mm.
And so, and that was around the time that I started making music because like I do make music, not as much anymore now. But yeah, I was exploring those ideas like in all my writing and everything. So yeah, shout out Northwestern,
Wow.
shout out my people.